It's been said that experience is the best teacher, and I tend to agree with that. I started this off-grid journey almost 3 years ago on nearly 30 acres of Tennessee wilderness and had practically no experience at all with outdoors, cabin, bridge building, and pretty much everything else that went along with it. Building this lumber log cabin helped me develop skills I never knew I had. I made my share of mistakes along the way, but learned a lot about patience and what my true capabilities were. It really was an off-grid learning experience. For years, I've always dreamed about building a log cabin using trees from my own land. I think the time is now to try to make that dream a reality. I hope you follow along to see all the highs and lows this build will be sure to bring. A genuine log cabin and an epic off-grid experience. So you may be wondering what my plans are for this lumber log cabin. That's a really good question. I haven't figured it out quite yet, but it will definitely be my base camp for the next 2 years that I spend building the log cabin. In case you're new to the channel, I don't live here full time. I actually work a full-time job and mostly spend weekends and holidays here. I don't make enough money off of YouTube to quit my job and support my family, although that does sound appealing. I may look to Airbnb it out at some point, or maybe just let close friends and relatives stay here to get away from all the hustle and bustle. The plan for the genuine log cabin is to develop it as a remote homestead. Although it's really tough to get to the build site because of all the hills and creeks, once you're there, the land is relatively flat and has close access to the spring I developed. You remember the part I mentioned at the beginning of the video about the highs and lows? Well, we just hit our first low. My chainsaw skills are pretty rudimentary at this point and need work, evidenced by getting the bar stuck on my second tree. This mistake set me back about an hour. Number one, I didn't cut the wedge notch deep enough. And then number two, I probably should have cut it to go down with its natural lean instead of going against it. I'm gonna need to learn fast because I've got about 40 to 50 trees to cut down. On top of that, they're all hardwoods. My plan was to take an occasional break to cool off in my spring-fed hot tub. Unfortunately, those plans may be on a permanent hold. For 3 years, working out in the woods, building cabins, I've only seen 2 snakes, and they were both small and pretty non-threatening. I've said it a few times on previous videos, I hate snakes. The sheer size of this thing as I walked up to it unexpectedly was something I'll never forget. I drove back to get my gun, but when I returned to the hot tub, the snake was gone. I really hope I didn't build this platform near a rattlesnake den. time to break out the trail cameras and do some investigating. The AC70 power station from Bluetti is a really good fit for what I need, since it's relatively lightweight at about 20 pounds and portable, but yet supplies a lot of power. The more remote I go on my property, the greater the need is for a reliable power source for my drills, saws, and pretty much anything else. One nice feature of the AC70 is the super fast charging, where it can get to 80% in just 45 minutes or fully charged in less than 2 hours. Power isn't an issue as it's rated for 1000 watts, but has the ability to go to 2000 watts in powerlifting mode. Tennessee summers are really hot and humid, and I typically take my portable refrigerator with me to keep my drinks cold. The AC70 handles this particular Iceco unit with relative ease and keeps it charged the entire workday. Thanks to the LifePo 4 battery, which can remain at 80% capacity even after 3000 plus charge cycles, or basically a 10-year lifespan. The intuitive LCD display lets you clearly see the power consumption of both AC and DC load, along with the expected charge life of the AC70. 7 different inputs allow for multiple devices to be charged at the same time. As I mentioned in a previous video, when I don't have the AC70 with me in the field, I use it to power the lights in the upstairs of my cabin, and in emergency situations when my main power station is down. Another nice feature of the Bluetti AC70 is the Smart App control, which allows you to see your linked devices and provides some remote control functionality. So to sum it up, the AC70 is tailored for almost every need, including a wide range of scenarios like outdoor camping, road trips, mobile office, and even home emergencies. It's also backed by a 5-year manufacturer warranty. If you're interested in an AC70 for your situation, there'll be a discount link in the video description, so please check it out. So a few days have passed since stumbling on the giant timber rattler, and I have to admit I'm still spooked. Sometimes when I walk into a room, I see it on the floor. My mind is definitely playing tricks on me. Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to wear these snake gaiters probably now until winter. Although with the size of that timber rattler, I probably need a full body gator suit. Time to get the trail cam set up and see if anything makes an appearance. It still ticks me off that I worked on this spring and hot tub build for about 3 to 4 weeks and not even a hint of a snake except for a little non-venomous ringneck snake. I'm not exaggerating when I say that this timber rattler was about 6 to 7 feet long and probably about 6 inches in diameter. Well, no sign of him again. This spot should work fine since it's pointed directly at the platform and the rock that the rattler was sunbathing on. We'll see what happens. So here's a drawing of the cabin foundation with locations of the concrete piers and also where the root cellar will be. I really won't know if this is going to work until I start digging. If I hit solid rock, no root cellar. The plan is to do a dugout style root cellar with upright posts that will hold the horizontal stacked logs in place. There will be 8 upright posts total, dug about 2 feet deeper than the root cellar floor. The logs are going to be charred and waterproof to prevent rot.